Hey guys, you're watching Fishing with Gary. We're back at Saguaro Lake, landed the giants. Reason we're here is because Barlow Lake's closed. Had a fire up there. On Friday when I was there, I saw this fire going, so I decided, well, let's come up here and see if we could catch some. So we stopped here. I caught one real quick. So there's a bunch of small fish here probably, but I'm just fishing a little flat out here, just bumping the bottom, and it's bumping back. Let me see if there's a fish there. Yep, there is. So there's a bunch of small ones here, but I mean, if you're bringing your kids and you're out just to have a good time. Boy, these are a good color. These are dark. Man, this was caught in 15 feet of water, so, but they're just little 1-pounders, so they're fun to catch. But let me tell you, you never know when the big one's going to hit, you know. So it does happen, you know. So basically, I need to get off this here and go back. So bear with me. I got too far up on the hump. I need to go back a little bit and get back in some deeper water. The sun's up. The sun is up now, and since those fish don't have eyelids, they've gone down about 10-15 feet. Oh, here, little one came up there. Oh, here's a whole bunch on the graph right here. Here's about 3 or 4 fish right there. If I see 2 or more fish on the graph, I always drop down trying to get them, always. So these were shallow. These are only 10 feet deep. So let's just drop down there. So to get their attention, what I'm doing is just kind of jiggling my rod like this. But I always let it go back down, and I let it hit the bottom, and I let it sit there for a minute. And then, you know, I kind of pretend like they're looking at it, so I'll jiggle a little bit more, not much. I'm not lifting the rod up and down and making that bait go up and down a foot off the bottom. Well, there's still 3 or 4 more left. Let's see if we can trick one of those little ones into hitting this. So I'm just bumping this along the bottom, shaking it and stopping it. Just, there he is. Oh, see, I wasn't even moving it, and the little guy hit it. Oh, this is a little guy. He's a real little guy. Like I said, you can catch little ones along with big ones. It seems like all the little ones are about the same size. They're all really about a pound. Some of them 1.25 pounds. But what I'm going to do is, I saw some big marks on the graph, so I'm going to get off this thing. I'm going to just back up. And while I back up, I'm just going to drag it because there's more fish down there. Here we go. Now we're down to 13, 14 feet. Let's just play with these and figure these out. Where are the big ones going to be? How deep are they going to be? Are they going to be in 20 foot, 25 foot, 30 foot? You know, guys, when you're graphing out here, you're going to see a lot of suspended fish, a lot. And I think there's those little stripies, those little yellow bass in here, because there's so many of them. This lake does have crappies in it, but I saw schools and schools of these things today. So now we're getting a little bit deeper. Let's just keep dragging this. There's about 4 more fish right here. We're just going to keep dragging this off this hump. Just keep going. Might get a bite by some of those. You never know when they're going to be bigger, but I'm going to guess those bigger fish are in 18 to 25 feet is what I'm going to guess. We'll just kind of keep on dragging. We're down to 18 feet now. So now I want to just see a few fish on the graph. I don't want to see a ton of them, because those will be the bigger ones. I know that these fish can school according to size, but usually when I catch a bigger one, it's 1 or 2 here. 1 or 2 or no more than 3. All right, we're still backing up. There's a lot of fish on this hump. If you don't know where to fish, it's a nice little area. You know, I imagine you could drop shot these fish too. Pretty day out here today. It's a Monday. So usually on Mondays these lakes get beat up from traffic. Let's just kind of keep fishing. 19, 20 foot. We'll keep on backing off, see what happens. We're just going to keep on going deeper, so I'm going to keep letting the line out. 21. Now I'm starting to see a few marks that are bigger marks, not little tiny ones. There we go. Now we're getting deeper. As I back up, I'm just jiggling it along the way. You never know when you're going to get one to hit one of these. Here we go. We'll just keep on moving back. All I'm using, folks, is a 7-inch trick worm. I like using the 5150s out here. I like using the trick worms. This is a little bit bigger. It's not a curly tail, it's a straight tail. But I think after this maybe I'll hook on another curly tail or something and try that too, just to see if that's working. All right, here's some good arcs right here coming up. Yeah, now I'm seeing some good arcs right here. All right, we'll just keep dragging on here. Just let that thing go down deeper, deeper and deeper. Just be ready. The reason I use a bait caster more here is because sometimes you catch bigger fish. You just never know. I moved off to 21. I'm not seeing enough fish, so I'm coming around this big hump out here on the outside perimeter of it. Now I'm starting to see some better marks here. Let's just kind of keep moving. I'm just kind of keep jiggling it and moving it. Just drag it on the bottom. That's all you have to do. Ooh, there's a big old cloudish thing. All right, there's two marks together right under a ball of shad. There he is. Ooh, he's bending my rod a little bit more, a lot more. Here he comes. Little bit bigger fish. So I'm not going to bring him right up and look at the size. That's a good one. That's pretty to see that coming in, you know. All right, there's our worm. I don't know if I'll flip that in. I'll probably just grab him by the lip. That's a little bit bigger. Like I said, you could catch 2, 3, or 4 fish, and you know, that's just a nice, colorful bass. I mean, he's in the 2.5, 3 pound range for sure. Just a nice big one like this. So just take a picture of him, but let him go quite a ways, you know, pretty quick, because, well, all right, we got a few on the trick worm. Let's open up the box of 5150. Got all my favorite colors in there. You know, we got PB&J, we got camo, we got morning dawn, we got oxblood. What is my favorite? Right here. Green pumpkin candy. Now I know the stores sell out Phoenix Fishing. As soon as I start talking about this, they all sell out of this color fast. So what I'm going to recommend to the store owners is this color works everywhere. It works at Bartlett, works at Pleasant, it works at Roosevelt, and it works right here at Saguaro. So I'm going to take my magic dip. This is called Spike It Dip and Glow Chartreuse with a garlic flavor. All I'm going to do is just a little bit on the tail. That's all I'm going to do. Let's see how this works. It'll work, because it always works here, you know. So let's go ahead and just throw this out. We're right off 23 feet of water. We'll just go ahead and turn this just like this. We'll let the phone call go. They'll call back. Probably with somebody driving by. Want to know if we were catching fish. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to work this right on the bottom. Right on the bottom. Just throw it out. Give it the little Gary shuffle, you know, jig it a little bit. No, I seem to have lost my fish. I'm going to cast back over to where I was. I know there's another one there. I saw it. So, well, I guess we kind of gave away our spot because there's shiprock. So it's going to be easier for you to find this one, guys. You're always trying to figure out where I'm fishing. That's a dead giveaway right there. So this is a couple really big humps here, and there's always fish on here. They might. Oh, shoot. Darn. I didn't really set the hook, or he didn't even have it that much. So let's cast back out. For one thing, I like to stay closer to the boat for you guys that fish with me and go out with me. I don't like making gigantic long casts because when you set that hook, I want to be close to that thing. I want to be real close. So I'm just kind of jiggling this along. Just keep jiggling it. And then, you know, like I said, after I jiggle it or I jerk it a little bit like this, I let that thing go back down because I've hopped it off the bottom just a little bit. And then I'm going to let it just sit there for a minute. You know, drives the fish crazy when I do that. All right, so now I'm coming off the other side of this hump. So we're going to cast up on top. I'm going to drive around this side of it and cast that way where I saw those fish. Okay. We are starting to see some more fish here. They're all in 18 to 23 feet of water. If you set a pattern and you start catching fish in a certain depth, stick with it for a while. If you're not catching them, move. Try some different depths. Try 15, 16, 14, 12. Early in the morning, I can tell you these fish are shallow. They're shallower. When that sun comes way up in the air like this, they go down. They don't have eyelids, so they will sink down to 15, 20 feet. You know, today's temperature was 78 degrees when we started. Right now, it is 78. So, all right, let's just stick close, throw it out there, let it sink. Let's see if we can get one more here before we venture and move and try something a little bit different. Well, we're drifting off the flat right now, coming across. Let me just keep backing up. I don't want to go too shallow because I don't want to catch all them little tiny ones. I mean, they're fun to catch, especially if you're not catching any fish. So let's just keep on moving. Come on. Boy, I'm starting to see a lot of marks here in 16, 17, 18 feet of water. That's for sure. There's a bite. Boy, it just takes that little bitty jerk, guys. See, I was just way out there just drifting. Oh, it's a little bit bigger, not a giant, but he came out at 21 feet of water, so. Ooh, boy, look at that one. That's a chunker, isn't it? That's a nice 2-pound pluser. Nice little, boy, these bass are chunky up here. They're all porking up for the winter time, so that's the reason why. Let's get him back in there and we'll just talk about that. So this one was on my favorite, green pumpkin candy. And when I rig that, guys, you know, I just go in, I'm using a long shank hook, 1/0. I don't go bigger. And make sure you get that hook straight, like that. So that worm is perfectly straight. Got a little makeup on the back there, a little chartreuse. So that's about perfect right there. 3/16 tungsten, 1 odd hook, fished on a Johnny Morris, medium power. All my rods are medium power, fast action. You can't beat this. If you're looking for a bait caster, I'm telling you what, this thing, I have beat this rod and reel up for the last 3 years, and I use it a lot, so it does good for me. It's got the golf club grips on here. So anyway, let's close this one out and let's look around for something else to bite on. So you've been watching Fish with Gary. Thank you guys. Thanks for subscribing to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.